If you saw the title before you clicked on this video, then you know that there's something big, there's a big challenge in my life that was kind of presented very recently. On Friday I had a doctor's appointment, a doctor's checkup, I had another test to back up previous tests, and then I had a checkup right after that, and the test proved to them that what they saw was correct, and then the follow-up was them telling me that they were not making me, obviously doctors can't make you do anything, but they were insisting that I get surgery. What is up, guys? My name is Logan Tremelin. What am I now? Recently I've just been traveling a lot. I make videos around things that excite me. I'm trying to create excitement in my life. Before last week I was just trying to have as much fun and optimize my life. If you know me, if you follow my story, if you've watched any of my videos or all of my videos, you know that I've almost died twice from Crohn's disease. Once in 2015, I had an ATV accident and I took the handlebar to the stomach. It actually punctured part of my intestine. I went to the hospital. I ended up having 5 surgeries. I ended up being in the hospital for a month and a half. I lost 40 pounds. I'm moving over here to get out of the sun because it just messed up all my camera settings. Fun fact, this field right here, this is the second time I've ever been here in my entire life. The other time I was here, I actually caught a ball with my right hand and broke my hand in 4 spots. And the other time I got sick and close to death from Crohn's disease was in 2017. I was in Florida for college and I got a stomach infection, and this ended up making me bedridden for 2 months. Then I had to go home. I ended up being in the hospital for 9 days. I lost a total of 50 pounds. I was extremely sick, and that's the problem. I'm still struggling very slightly, but at the same time, a lot from this time I got sick in 2017. During the time I was in bed and during the time I had this stomach infection during those 2 months, my stomach was inflamed and it was freaking out. My Crohn's disease was really acting up. And something that happened that was a major issue was my stomach created new tunnels throughout my body. And it sounds crazy, but one thing that happens with Crohn's disease is you can create these things called fistulas, which basically what it is your intestine creates other tunnels to other organs, to other parts of your intestine, to whatever. And when I went to the hospital after those 2 months, they told me my entire insides were basically ruined. They told me that they would have to take everything out and put an ostomy bag on me, and luckily we tried medication first. Medication helped a ton, whether it was medication or whether it was me eating right. But for the most part, I just focused on my nutrition. I just focused on eating healthy. And it helped me a ton. And without that, I would not have an intestine right now. I wouldn't have a stomach right now. Now on the outside right now, I may look extremely fit and extremely healthy, and to be honest, I am. I feel amazing. I've been running a ton. I work out every single day. I eat great. I feel amazing, but I'm still not quite out of the clear for surgery and for intestine issues. So this is where the challenge comes in. That test I had on Friday was confirming a finding that they found, which is I still have 1 remaining fistula, and it's kind of crazy. They said they went in, and in that fistula it kind of takes them from one side of my body to the middle and then to the other side, and it shouldn't be there at all. And they want to go in and remove it as a whole and make sure there's no damaged areas where it connects to those 3 different parts of my good intestine. And yeah, this would require 1 surgery. They said about 4 or 5 days in the hospital, a month to 2 months of recovery time, and a lot of risks, obviously. But there's also a lot of risks with not going through with the surgery. Now, before I say anything else, I just want to be clear. I am not making this video to hear your opinion. I'm not making this video for you to tell me what I should do. I'm making this video because the best way for me to think through something, the best way for me to understand something and problem solve through something is to make a video about it. And also to fill in my parents, my family, everyone around me, an idea, a goal, and a dream I have for this, because obviously it's a very serious topic. So on one hand, I can voluntarily go into surgery, which is the absolute earliest I could make this happen, within my schedule would be like February or January of next year. And basically what they would do is they would go in, remove that part that shouldn't be there that my body grew and hasn't healed yet, and then they would have to make 3 patches. And the problem with these patches are they can cause leaks, and the leaks are the bad thing. So best case scenario, there would be 0 leaks. I would heal after that month and be good to go and just have to watch my diet for the rest of my life. Bad case scenario is there would be a leak and then I'd have to go in for more surgeries and more operations and all of that stuff. Now I could do this and there would be a very small chance that I get an ostomy bag. There would be a very good chance of them being able to remove it and clear out all the issues I have right now. But there are a couple problems with that idea that I have in mind. One, I need to get surgery again. Nobody likes surgery. 2, I would be out for a month. I wouldn't be able to do anything for a month. I would lose a lot of physical ability. I would lose a lot physically, and I just really don't want to go through that again. And also, there's a lot of risks. There's a lot of bad risks that come with having your insides opened up, especially your stomach area. And it's just something I really don't want to go through again. I went through it in 2015 and it was terrible, and I'm going to do my best to avoid that. So my other idea, this dream, this extreme challenge and goal that I have for myself is to get back on that exact same diet that caused me to go into a stomach infection in 2017. Before you're like, why would you do that? That diet put you in a stomach infection. Let me explain myself. So in 2016, I was like extremely fit. Even more fit than I am now. I was more dedicated and more willing to do whatever it takes to get as healthy as I possibly could. And I was on this strict diet where it was basically just vegetarian, it was plant-based, and I would only eat very specific things. And for example, before I started this diet, I could run like 2 miles and my calves would start like hitting that wall, and like I'd hit that lactic acid wall and I wouldn't be able to run much further at a good pace. 2 weeks after being on this diet, I didn't have that wall anymore. I remember specifically going on a 10-mile run, and every single mile I ran a faster pace. And I felt amazing. This is how I felt every single day. I had so much energy. My stomach was literally never better. I do not remember a time where my stomach was just in better condition than it was during that 6-month period. The problem came when I moved to college and I moved to Florida and I was on my own. Is one, I had to find a way to afford paying for food and doing all that stuff. 2, I had to find the time to spend all the time cooking and eating clean and doing all that stuff. I couldn't just go and buy food anywhere. Eventually, I got off track. Now with this diet, the problem is when you eat something bad that isn't on the diet, say like a cheat meal, your body literally freaks out. Like you get bad aches, you feel terrible. And when I got off, that happened to me. Like my stomach felt bad, my entire body felt bad. But I didn't have the money or the time or the ability to get back on this by myself. And I was in Florida alone. So I remained off that diet for 2 months. My body just continued freaking out because I had no idea what these foods were. I wasn't used to them anymore. And that caused me to lose 50 pounds. That caused me to go in the hospital for 9 days. That caused all of these fistulas to grow inside of my body and nearly have my entire intestine, my stomach, everything inside of me removed. Since then, on a simple and not too strict diet, I've managed to heal every single thing inside of me. I've managed to put back on all of the weight plus some. I've managed to get back to that peak running level. But there's just one more little fistula, one little problem that could cause a lot of complications. And that's what this challenge is about. When presented with a challenge that has 2 options, I always try to choose both. And in this case, you're like, Logan, why would you do the diet and do surgery? That's not how it's going to happen. So, my plan is to, 1, schedule the surgery for February, whatever it is. Not because I want it to happen, but because scheduling a date would make it a lot more solid in my mind, in my life, that if I don't follow through with what I want to do, then there's no other option. And then 2 is adopt this diet that I was on, only try to find a way where it's accessible even when I'm traveling the country. Find a way to make it accessible even when I don't have any time. Try to make it simple as possible, but yet follow the outlines of this diet. I need to follow this diet while being able to make a meal in 5 minutes, or eat when I'm on the road, or do whatever. I need this diet to be just as easy as what I'm doing now. And if that's the case, then I want to follow it for 6 months up until I take a test right before the surgery date. And if that test shows any improvements, or shows any healing, or anything that gives me hope, that gives my family hope, that gives the doctors hope that I may not need surgery to heal all of this, to fix all of this, then that surgery date will be pushed back. Yeah, it sounds like a dream, it sounds kind of insane, but there's really no other way I can avoid surgery. If I keep eating like I am now, I don't think I will heal anymore. So I need to change something, I need to try something else, and this was the one thing that I absolutely know will work. There are still some risks to this, obviously. The thing the doctors were worried about with me not getting surgery is that fistula closing off in different areas, and then bacteria could get stuck in there, and then my body would grow abscesses, and then I would need to go into emergency surgery, and then that would be a lot worse because it just wouldn't be planned. I might not be as healthy, I might be sick, that abscess might be big, it might cause future or bigger complications. And that would just be a worse situation than going into surgery electively in the first place. Another possible challenge is that I might get on this diet for a few months and I may be doing really good, but then if I fall off it and I don't get back on it, 2017 could happen all over again. I could get a stomach infection again. I can get back in the hospital. My stomach could be even worse. My diet, my lifestyle, this is something I need to figure out. And the sooner I figure it out, the better. Because if I keep eating like I am now, although it's extremely healthy to most people, it's not perfect for me. And for the rest of my life, if I keep eating this way, it could continue to create complications. So I need to figure out my diet now. I need to figure out my lifestyle now to prevent any complications down the road. There is a possibility that I can do this diet very strictly, have 0 issues for 6 months straight, and then I do that test and there's still no signs of improvement. And then I just take the elective surgery anyway. And basically me eating healthy was just a big waste of time. Me eating healthy now is going to make me feel better, it's going to make me work better, it's going to make me do everything in my life better or at a more optimal level. So when it comes to the time for me to get surgery, I'll be able to go through it better, I'll be able to recover better, I'll be able to do everything better. So it's not a waste of time, it's just investing in my health, it's investing in my life. Now the scariest thing for me is if I postpone this and any issue happens, anything I mean happens, the chance or the complications or the challenges with surgery that may be needed go up. There's a possibility that I may need an ostomy bag if this gets worse. There may be a possibility that other parts of my intestine need to be removed. There may be a possibility that everything just gets worse the longer I wait. But at the same time, last time when I was in the hospital in 2017, and I wanted to wait, that ended up saving me my entire stomach just by pushing against the doctor's opinions and trying a different way from what they thought was possible. So taking the risk in this case could also be the less risky path. Now, this isn't even just something when it comes to health, this is about everything in life. For me, I think the most risky path in life is the one that takes away your freedom or takes away your happiness. Now, for you guys, having 9 to 5s is the safest path, or doing that job is the safest thing, but for me, that's the most risky because it takes away something else that I love. It takes away the happiness, it takes away the adventure, it takes away the freedom I have right now. So, in my mind, in my life right now, surgery is the most risky thing I can do. And to be honest, it would be ridiculous if I didn't try to heal this or fix this or overcome this challenge without trying something else besides surgery. So now you guys know why this is like literally the biggest challenge I've ever had to do electively in my life. I could on one hand get a major operation that puts me in the hospital for 5 days and then out in recovery for 1 to 2 months. Or on the other hand, eat an extremely healthy diet and possibly, hopefully, reverse all of the challenges I have in my life. In my body, not my life. That's where I'm at in my mind right now. I'm heading to Dallas tomorrow. I'm going to be in Tony Robbins. I'm going to be in Dallas for just over a week for a Tony Robbins event. So this is a great time for me to really try to think and decide on what I want to do for the next couple months of my life and where I need to go and where I need to end up. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to try to put out more videos. I've just been super busy. Just trying to have fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, you can comment down below if you leave me an opinion. I probably won't read it, but I'd love to hear from you. So say hi. What's up? Cool. I'll see you guys in the next one.